Is there a life in Vegas? Consider life in Vegas. So is there a life in Vegas? Chill out and get a life. Watch and learn. Only on Vegas Life TV. Made in Vegas. For all things Vegas. Now you can leave home without leaving home.
Welcome to Wines du Jour. We're here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where we normally are each week, but more specifically, we're at one of the great places for young chefs to know about, called Le Cordon Bleu Culinary Academy here in Las Vegas. This is a school for anybody that's interested, male or female, in getting into the food industry. If you want to be a chef, you need to come to a school like this. You'll find out a lot more about it a little bit later, but it's important to know that Cordon Bleu is not only French, it's all over the United States, and of course they have one of their best schools here in the Las Vegas area. Now today we're going to feature some food from Le Cordon Bleu, but we're also going to have mouton caudé. Very French, huh? Nice Bordeaux wines, 3 different wines, a white wine, a rosé wine, and a red wine. I think you're going to like it. It's going to go well with the food, and I think you're going to find out, if you're interested, in what it takes to become a chef at a culinary school. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back. I want to introduce you to the general manager here at Cordon Bleu in just a moment. Come on with me. Welcome back to Wines du Jour. As I promised, I have the gentleman that's in charge of making things happen here at the Cordon Bleu Culinary Academy in Las Vegas. His name is Marc Lavasseur, and let me tell you, he's extremely knowledgeable about food. Chefs call him and ask him questions about what they should be doing in order to get the right answers. When he walks in the room, or one of the classrooms here, everybody kind of bows down to him, including the instructors. It's pretty cool. This is a great culinary academy. If you or somebody that you know real well is looking to become a professional chef, this is the place to start out. You know, one of the troubles that people have starting at a restaurant is they don't learn an awful lot. When I say that, yeah, they learn how to make a sauce or they learn how to wash a dish, but when it comes to food in general, you know, when you plan a meal, as an example, at home, you should probably have a protein. That would be a meat or a fish, something like that if you're not vegetarian. Then you should have some kind of a starch and some type of a vegetable. A lot of people don't realize that, and they have just an awful lot of meat and nothing else. That's not really healthy. And these are the types of things, along with many, many other things, that you learn at a culinary school like Cordon Bleu. Marc, tell us a little bit about your school, because it's not only unique, but it's literally all around the world.
It is. The Las Vegas campus of Le Cordon Bleu has been here for, we're just starting our 12th year, in fact this month. We've been here for 12 years, and we've got two different programs. We have a culinary program and a pastry program.
Ooh, cool.
Absolutely, because we've got both those sides in the restaurant industry.
You know, it's amazing. A lot of people love to cook, but they don't know much about baking, or people that love to bake and they don't care so much about steaks or sauces.
Absolutely.
So it works out well for both kinds.
And it's important for both to have those skills as well, because culinary side tends to, you know, they may have to cover for somebody in the pastry kitchen and vice versa. So we teach the basic foundation of skills to both groups, the knife skills, basic sauces, and cooking methods.
Not to mention sanitation.
Absolutely.
You know, we kind of take sanitation for granted until we go to a restaurant and see somebody do something drastically wrong. But sanitation is a very important part of every day in the restaurant business from the time they start. In fact, when you go home or when you come from your bedroom to your kitchen to fix breakfast, the first thing you should do, wash your hands. You know, these digits that you carry around with you are very unsanitary. Yours and mine, everybody's. It's not just one person. So it's important to clean those before you start doing preparation for food for you and your loved ones or your guests to eat. Correct?
Absolutely. We start that right at the first class. The first class we start sanitation, and we work it throughout the entire program. It's a constant, probably the most important piece of
well, it's
the
a
education.
new habit everybody should have. Some people don't. I'm suggesting that you try creating it. Anytime you're going to go in the kitchen, and every time you go into the kitchen, wash your hands first before you do anything else.
It's a great habit for everyone.
Now, how long does it take? If they sign up to be a chef, as an example, how many years does it take a school?
Sure. For our associates program, each student spends about 12 months on campus, and then wraps up the program with a 3-month externship in the industry. Now, where they go, it's up to them. You know, if it's a pastry student, they're going to head towards a pastry shop, or perhaps a pastry station in one of the restaurants or hotels. But the entire program takes about 22 months for the
23
associate.
months. Well, I'll tell you, that sounds like a long time, and I guess it is. But when you leave there, you're prepared then to get into the business. You're not going to become an executive chef when you get out of school. You're starting in the business, but you're way ahead of those that haven't had any schooling whatsoever. And when it comes to promotions and getting new and better jobs, that's what's going to happen.
And we begin the networking process here while they're in school too,
Right.
which is very
Well,
important.
this is the important part I wanted you to understand. Le Cordon Bleu in Las Vegas, and when we come back, we're going to talk about wine #1 and some food to pair with it. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages.
TV and find out how to say goodbye to messy cable wires and boxes. America's #1 satellite television provider is the undisputed leader in sports with the most full-time HD channels anywhere. Get DirecTV today and receive a free Genie upgrade. One HD DVR powers your whole home. There's no equipment to buy and no startup costs. Package offers start at just $24.99. There's never been a better time to upgrade your television experience. Call your authorized DirecTV dealer today.
Nevada Adult Day Healthcare Centers serve the need of the growing population of elderly and disabled Nevadans who require daily healthcare monitoring, yet prefer to live at home with their families. Through our programs, activities, and services, we cognitively stimulate, educate, and create an environment where participants are able to socialize and exercise to improve or maintain their level of functioning. Call us for a free tour of a Southern Nevada center close to your home. Nevada Adult Day Healthcare Centers.
Welcome back. Our feature wine today at Le Cordon Bleu is Méthane Cadet. Now, Méthane Cadet has been around for a while. However, people around the world that love French wine love Méthane Cadet. And you can go to your local retail store anywhere in America or wherever you're listening to the show, and you can probably find Méthane Cadet. We have 3 different varietals, I should say 3 different wines that we're going to taste today. The first one is what they call Bordeaux Blanc. Now, one thing about the French, they just don't like to tell you what the varietal grape is in the bottle. They tell you what region those grapes were grown, and it's up to you to figure out what the hell that varietal is. In this case, this Bordeaux Blanc is a Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc, for those who have been watching Wines du Jour in the past, know that this is my favorite white wine to go with food. And I have to tell you, Cordon Bleu is not held back at all. They've got some beautiful food here we'll talk about in just a minute. But Sauvignon Blanc is a really good wine. I'll pour a little bit for Mark, and we can taste it, see what you think.
Thank you.
You bet. And then let's talk a little bit, not only about the wine, but let's talk a little bit about the food that you've chosen to pair with it.
Sure.
You know, Sauvignon Blanc has its own kind of a nose. You could just smell the fact that it's crisp. It has a real nice peachy, grapefruity type of a nose to it. Now the acidity is also there, and that's something that helps cut through fat or anything that you might have in the food that you're eating. This wine would go great with fish, seafood, poultry, salmon in particular I happen to like, or fresh pasta. You know, when you get fresh tomatoes, fresh garlic, a little bit of wine, and some freshly cooked pasta, put it together, this would be a perfect match. Tell us what you put together. It not only looks good, but I know it's going to taste great. What is it?
Well, today we have shrimp Newburg. It's a cream base sauce, usually spiked with a little bit of sherry. And because we had this blanc, we thought it would be nice to have something a little bit richer, but seafood
Great.
Also, as you mentioned, pairs well with the Sauvignon. But in addition, we have a little bit of cheese and a little bit of fruit to try with it as well. In this case, we have a brie and a bit of parm.
Yeah, see, we don't all have this type of flatware at home, but this is what the students learn to work with. So when they go to work at a restaurant, or let me mention something that we haven't said yet, but when you graduated from Cordon Bleu, all the hotels up and down the strip, downtown, are all more than happy to give you an opportunity to work with them, because they all have restaurants inside and so on, buffets, all kinds of different things that you can get involved in. And if you're into pastry, obviously, they've got a lot of bakers working at all the places. In fact,
Absolutely.
a lot of your students do their training there, do they not?
They do, and it's a great partnership between not just the students and the staff here at Le Cordon Bleu, because it's a partnership in order to secure that position. But we provide a lot of opportunities so that the students can get out there and try all sorts of different
But you
types
know,
of jobs.
there's also in Las Vegas, as well as other places, a lot of culinary competitions where they do barbecues and they do different cookouts and so on and so forth. And you know, every one of them that I've been to, and I've been doing it for quite a few years, the last 12 years here with Cordon Bleu, they have students go to those and watch what happens so that they learn. Maybe ask questions to the cook that's putting that particular product together, whether it's a chili or whether it's a barbecue sauce or whether it's a piece of meat that they've got on the grill. They might ask some questions. Sometimes they wear their uniforms, sometimes they don't, but there's always somebody there from the school to learn. Huh?
We work with as many events as we possibly can.
That's really good. Well, Bordeaux, Métancourt, and Le Cordon Bleu in Las Vegas this is round one with our white Bordeaux, or Bordeaux Blanc as they call it, which is really Sauvignon Blanc. Good stuff. Try it. We'll be back right after these messages.
The Las Vegas real estate market is one of the hottest markets in US. It is time for you to take advantage and profit from it. Let me use my experience and skills to get you the best deals available. Whether you are buying, selling, or renting your home, and for the best full-service real estate agent, call me, Jian Yang today. 投资赌城地产好时机，让我帮您取得市场最好的交易，给我打电话吧。
Welcome back. We're about to try wine number 2, which is a rosé from Métancourt in Bordeaux, and it's available for around $10 a bottle. I'll just have to tell you a little bit about rosé. It can be made with almost any kind of a red wine. They just don't allow the skins and the meat and the seeds to macerate for a prolonged period of time, so the color doesn't get dark like it does for Cabernet or Merlot or something. It just goes for, you know, half the length of time until it gets the color that the winemaker likes. Then he starts pulling all the skins, meat, and seeds out of the juice, and the juice stays that beautiful rosé color. But let me just tell you, Mostly the wines are made with Cabernet, Merlot, that sort of varietal. And when you only allow the juice and the meat and the seeds to macerate for a half the period, it has just a beautiful texture, but it's not a heavy-duty wine. This is perfect for summertime. And here we are in the middle of the summer. In Las Vegas today, it was 109. And that's a little warm for a lot of people. We take it in stride here in Las Vegas, and we stay indoors most of the time. But this beautiful wine, any kind of a rosé, is really something you might want to check it out around the pool or the patio or fireplace, whatever the case may be. It's a really good wine. Now, Chef Mark and his troupe has put together some really nice, unique things to go with this rosé. Tell us a little bit about it, would you, Chef?
Well, as you said, summertime flavors. We have a duck taco. So we thought we wanted something with a little bit of spice because, like you said, having a glass of rosé in the summer is nice and refreshing, and tacos kind of go along with it. Okay. We also have a fig and Kalamata tart. So again, big summertime flavors.
There you go.
To go with a nice cool
figs
wine.
are up and running this time of the year, and I have to tell you, figs are one of my favorite things for desserts. And if you want to do something really simple that's very, very tasty, is to take some fresh figs, cut it in half, and put the cut side up on a baking sheet. Turn your oven on about 325 to 350, doesn't have to be real high, and put those in there for about 10 minutes. Take them out, put a little bit of marshmallow on the top, and as it starts to melt, that's when you want to eat it. It's a really nice little snack to have, or a great dessert following any kind of a nice meal. Something easy to do, and it's seasonal, if you know what I'm saying. Now, this particular Bordeaux it's kind of sweet. It goes well with summer salads, not only the duck tacos and what they've done here at Cordon Bleu, but also it goes well with chicken. It goes well with, well, as they say in France, Provençal food. That would be your average everyday food. This would go very, very well. Now, I'm going to say one thing that's going to shock a lot of people possibly, but when I talk about doing a rosé in the summertime, don't be ashamed to put ice in your glass and then put that red wine to get it nice and cold, because the flavor of that rosé stands out, and you won't mask it by making it so cold. You know, we always say don't make wine too cold, because it's just not a good thing. You're going to end up with no flavor at all. The only exception is champagne. Champagne you'd like to have pretty well chilled. In fact, we say around 36 to 38 degrees. So that's a little bit cooler than the temperature in your refrigerator. And I'll ask again, what is the temperature in your refrigerator? No, it's not 5 or 7 or 9 that some salesmen put a little scale in the back of the refrigerator.
Right, yeah.
But it should be, hopefully, about 39. It could be 40, but never warmer than 40, then it becomes dangerous. Even the USDA has said 40 degrees maximum. I personally, my refrigerator, and I hope yours is too, is set on 39. I can tell you most every walk-in in America in restaurants is set at 39. That's just the magic number. It's not too warm, but it's cold enough to keep cold things cold. And that's what we like to do in the food business. We keep hot things hot and cold things cold. The important thing to remember. The in-between temperatures we try to stay away from as best we can at the majority of the time.
Absolutely.
Well, we've got to go. When we come back, we're going to talk about wine number 3, which is also a little bit of a blend, but the main ingredient is one of France's favorite varietals, not Cabernet Sauvignon, but Merlot. Okay, we'll see what we can do with some Merlot, and see, you know what would go, I haven't talked to the chef yet, but a slider would go really good with this. Let's see what happens. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back coast to coast and around the world on the internet, but most importantly, all over Asia and here in Las Vegas on television. Be back right after these messages.
Switch to DirecTV and find out how to say goodbye to messy cable wires and boxes. America's #1 satellite television provider is the undisputed leader in sports with the most full-time HD channels anywhere. Get DirecTV today and receive a free Genie upgrade. One HD DVR powers your whole home. There's no equipment to buy and no startup costs. Package offers start at just $24.99. There's never been a better time to upgrade your television experience. Call your authorized DirecTV dealer today.
I'm Bishop Calderon, an immigration attorney. Migrating to the U.S. legally can be tricky and costly. My firm offers fast, professional, and cost-efficient service for you and your family members. Call us now for consultation.
If trouble comes your way, the only name you need to know is Blondie's Bail Bonds. Hi, I'm Amanda Doyle, owner of Blondie's Bail Bonds. If a family member or friend goes to jail, call us immediately. Let our caring and compassionate staff help you through this process. Blondie's Bail Bonds is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We offer easy payment plans, fast and friendly service. So if trouble comes your way, Blondie's Bail Bonds can save the day.
Is there a life in Vegas? Consider life in Vegas. So is there a life in Vegas? Chill out and get a life. Watch and learn. Only on VegaslifeTV. Made in Vegas. For all things Vegas. Now you can leave home without leaving home.
Welcome back. We're about to try number 3 Mouton Cadet. That would be their Bordeaux, as they call it. It is a blend of 3 different varietals that they grow in the Bordeaux region. The first one being Merlot, or for Texans, Merlot. Also Cabernet Sauvignon. It has about 20% Cabernet Sauvignon blend in there, and also about 15% Cab Franc. Now the unique thing about having a Bordeaux is that most people think anything in Bordeaux is the other way around. It's got Cabernet Sauvignon with a little bit of Merlot and possibly a little Cab Franc. Well, here it's kind of switched around. And Merlot was originally put together to blend as a rounding off juice for Cabernet Sauvignon, because a lot of Cab, especially in Bordeaux, turns out to have a little bit of harshness when you swallow it. So if you take straight Cabernet and you swallow it and it kind of heats up your throat, that's not what they're looking for. So they found that if they add maybe 3 or 4 or 5% Merlot juice to that Cabernet, that goes away. And then the Cabernet tastes beautiful from the time it enters your mouth, crosses your lips, so to speak, all the way down through and gives you a nice, long, lingering finish. Well, we have the long, lingering finish naturally here because we have the majority as Merlot, which is 65%. I didn't mention that earlier. 20% Cab and 15% Cab Franc. What a beautiful combination. Now, this goes well with all kinds of food, and I mentioned in our last segment that I thought maybe something like a slider would work. Mark, tell us a little bit about what you put together.
Well, since the last segment, we went out back and made sliders. We actually have a pork slider that was arranged today.
Oh, cool.
The students produced all the menu, I might like to add, and today they have a pork slider with goat cheese. So we've got a little bit of spiciness to go with the Bordeaux today.
And a nice creaminess of goat cheese.
Absolutely.
For that, I'm going to pour you a little bit of wine.
Well, I appreciate
I want
that.
you to
Thank
taste
you.
this because it's pretty tasty. And it's something that you should be able to find at almost any retail wine store all across America and just about anywhere for that matter. Mouton Cadet has been around for a long time, and it's been liked for a lot of people, so it's available in a lot of local places. Now this is going to run you around, believe it or not, around $15 a bottle. The rosé that we had, I want to mention to you, that's going to retail for around $10 a bottle. Not very expensive. And that beautiful Blanc, they call it, which is Sauvignon Blanc, is about $12 a bottle. Not very expensive at all, any one of the three. All have great names, good product, tasty. You could chill all of them slightly, maybe Bordeaux, maybe 30 minutes in the refrigerator before you take it out, pull the cork, pour it, and by the time you drink it, it's going to be around 55 or 60 degrees, which is probably perfect for red wine. And then one of these sliders, I have to tell you, I want to take a closer look at this slider. This is beautiful. Is this the way you do it at home? Probably not. I understand. If you don't mind, Mark, I'm going to take a taste
please.
of this. This has got to be very good. I can see a little bit of sauce. It's got the cheese on it, goat cheese, and a little bit of pork, a little bit of lettuce. Let me try it. No surprise, perfect match. This is what we talk about, folks. You should have, according to the medical professional, I'm not a doctor, but according to the medical profession, you should have 1 or 2 glasses of wine every day with your dinner meal. That's 7 days a week. Now, that just means that it's not something to go out and have a party with Friday night or Saturday night. That's not what wine is made for. Tequila and all that sort of thing, maybe, but or gin or vodka, but not wine. Wine is food. That's our slogan here on Wines du Jour. Wine is food. A meal is a meal, but with a glass of wine, it's a celebration. From casual gatherings to formal affairs, wine celebrates any event. So make sure you have some wine. Temperature should be okay. Chill it a little bit if it's a white wine. Just very quickly, if it's a red wine, don't keep your wines in your refrigerator for 2 or 3 weeks. It's not good for them. Go all the way down, maybe 30 minutes before you're ready to drink it. Open it, pour it, and let it breathe for a couple minutes. Mark, I have to tell you, you've done a beautiful job, man. Let's have a little taste. Thanks for watching Wines du Jour, and salute.
I like the block, the white.
Okay.
And I liked it with the shrimp salad and the puff pastry. It was delicious.
Switch to DirecTV and find out how to say goodbye to messy cable wires and boxes. America's #1 satellite television provider is the undisputed leader in sports with the most full-time HD channels anywhere. Get DirecTV today and receive a free Genie upgrade. One HD DVR powers your whole home. There's no equipment to buy and no startup costs. Package offers start at just $24.99. There's never been a better time to upgrade your television experience. Call your authorized DirecTV dealer today.
Bishop Calderon, an immigration attorney. Migrating to the U.S. legally can be tricky and costly. My firm offers fast, professional, and cost-efficient service for you and your family members. Call us now for consultation.
Is there a life in Vegas? Consider life in Vegas. So is there a life in Vegas? Chill out and get a life. Watch and learn. Only on VegaslifeTV. Made in Vegas. For all things Vegas. without leaving home.